I've been thinking recently about the ending of The Summer I Turned Pretty, and more specifically about who Belly Conklin became in the end versus who she was in the beginning. And looking back at the show, she's honestly one of the biggest victims in the entire thing. When I think about her story as a whole, my heart breaks for her. People look at her story as being a type of succubus who played with two brothers' feelings, but I think it's the other way around. Today in this video, we're going to take a look at Belly Conklin, who she is, what she wants, and why ultimately, while her ending was good, the rest of the show was an absolute nightmare for her. Let's start with Belly Season 1. She's introduced as a 16-year-old girl who loves summer, spending time with her family, and being obsessed with Conrad. If you're watching this video, most likely you know who Conrad Fisher is, but just to give a little bit of context, at this point, Conrad is a family friend of Belly, as his mother and Belly's mother have been best friends for years. And it is because of this that during the summer, they go to their beach house together. Both families spend their summer together. Belly has had a long-standing crush on Conrad since her childhood, and that is no different when she arrives. However, as the season progresses, we notice that Belly will do anything to fit in. When she arrives, we learn very little about her, even though she is the main character. Instead, we skip her hobbies, her favourite songs, her favourite colour, and go straight to the societal pressure that she feels. The summer house that Belly stays in with her family is in a very affluent area full of rich people, and although Conrad's family have quite a lot of money and fit into this lifestyle, Belly's family are not. However, that's all she wants to be. Partly because of the girls her age around her, but for a big portion of her motivation is so that she can impress who she considers to be a second mother, Susanna. Belly is constantly being pushed into social settings and situations she didn't imagine for herself, but were rather sprung onto her. Which is why personally I love the first season. I think they did a very good job of showing us what Belly is, which is a teenage girl that's really just not sure of herself at all. And that's why she's so easily dragged in different directions. She has very strong feelings for Conrad, but he's kissing other girls, insulting her and leading her on to no avail. And Belly put up with it for a significant period of time due to her low self-esteem. She feels like Conrad is perfect and in a lot of ways everything she wants to be, but is not. Which is why it's so easy for her to just accept the reason Conrad treats her the way that he does. Which brings me to a big point of why people hate Belly's character. She liked Conrad, but then immediately reciprocated Jeremiah's feelings when he confesses to her. However, while a lot of people say this is something to hate her for, I say it's something to pity her for. Jeremiah represents the society she wants to fit into, but as well as this, he's a version of these people that is kind to her. Say what you want about Jeremiah, but he's still kind to her, and at this point, he is constantly trying to include her, which she often overlooks because she's so infatuated with Conrad. So when Jeremiah's feelings are brought to the forefront, it makes sense to give him a chance. However, Belly's feelings for Conrad are still very prominent. She just feels betrayed, but more than this, undeserving of Conrad's affection. Everything she does is her trying to fit into a mold people have created for her. Which brings me to Susanna Fisher. This is arguably the biggest part of Belly's story, doing what Susanna wants. Belly and her mother are not on bad terms by any means, but Susanna is the warm and affectionate version of her mom. Susanna is the summer, and Belly will do anything to please her. And this is a big reason why Belly feels the way about Conrad that she does. Susanna consistently pushes her in that direction.
I knew it.
So at this point in the series, while Belly does have a very big crush on Conrad, it is fueled by how Susanna is constantly reiterating to her that they are soulmates and that that's what she wants. And then this is only amplified when Susanna gets diagnosed with cancer and everyone finds out that she is refusing treatment. I feel so stupid.
You can't give up on us, Mom. Can't you just try?
Following this, Conrad and Belly rekindle and her feelings are reciprocated. So she technically has everything she wants, and that Susanna wants. But it's not good enough, because Susanna is still sick, and there's nothing Belly can do about that. This brings us into season 2, where Susanna passes away and Belly and Conrad break up.
I wasn't in Cousins. Conrad and I weren't together. And Susanna was dead.
At the end of the season, Jeremiah and Belly get together, officially this time. This season just emphasizes the connection that Belly has with Susanna, but also Conrad. It shows his inability to express his feelings, which to the viewer makes it abundantly clear why he treats Belly and has treated her the way he has done in the past. However, Belly doesn't have the same foresight that the viewer does, so she just continues to blame herself for everything. Even if it comes out in the form of anger towards Conrad, the real reason for her outbursts and her misguided choices is because she feels like she has let Susanna down.
Don't get to use Susanna's death as an excuse.
This whole year has been hard for me too. You were barely here. And I don't blame you for being there for Susanna and the boys. They needed you, but you can't blame me either for things that happened because you were away.
This isn't about blame. This is about you and the choices you made. It's about taking responsibility for yourself, even when things are hard. Life keeps going.
You should apologize.
You screwed up, and now everything is weird with Conrad and Jeremiah. I mean, they won't even text me back anymore because of you.
Okay, guys, hey, wait a second. That is not my fault.
Isn't it?
Do not listen to him. He's right. I mean, I ruined things with both of them, and then Susanna died, and I completely ruined her funeral, and I wish I hadn't started any of it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do, and I'm so tired of feeling sad all the time, and I don't think I get to feel better.
Because the relationship with Conrad collapsed right before Susanna died, that means that Belly has failed. She didn't give Susanna what she wanted, and that breaks her heart more than the breakup. All those years she spent trying to impress Susanna and be everything that she wanted from her was all in vain, because before Susanna died, the reality was that her family was torn apart and Belly blames herself for it. In an attempt to patch things back up with the family, she rekindles with Jeremiah and they get back together because Conrad has expressed to her that he doesn't have feelings for her anymore. And she's so quick to believe it because her self-esteem is so low. And without Susanna there to push them in that direction anymore, she yet again falls into the arms of someone that had always been kind to her and her best friend, Jeremiah. In season 3, we watch Jeremiah and Belly's relationship be happy and perfect until one argument destroys it. But not as it should. Belly was effectively cheated on by Jeremiah. Even if you don't believe that she was or that it wasn't cheating, she believes that she was.
And you, Belly.
We can't get it back. Whatever we were, it's gone. We lost it.
No, we can. Yes, we can. We can get it back.
No, we can't. No, I don't even know who you are anymore.
However, when they break up, she gets back with him because she feels that that's what she needs to do to make things right, because that's her role. One, because of what happened between the family before Susanna passed away, but also because she's aware of her feelings for Conrad. And when she's seen him over the Christmas break at the beach house, everything came rushing back. All of her feelings and also all of her guilt and responsibilities. She owed it to Susanna to keep the family together as much as she could, and she knew that with Conrad being estranged from the family, she could keep that up. There is no doubt in my mind that Belly did genuinely love and care for Jeremiah, but it wasn't authentic, and it wasn't what it should have been. It wasn't how she felt about Conrad. Jeremiah and Belly helped each other through the death of Susanna, whereas Conrad represented true, genuine feelings. In every circumstance, in every situation, she never lost her feelings for Conrad, which is why she was able to keep up that image with Jeremiah for as long as she did, because Conrad was out of the picture, and therefore the memory of Susanna wanting them to be together specifically and her feelings for Conrad were out of her brain, and she could slip into an ignorance. But back to Belly's feelings about Jeremiah cheating. The guilt, the obligation and the responsibility that she placed on herself after Susanna's death to keep the family together is why she forgives him so easy. Because she doesn't feel as betrayed as she should, because her feelings aren't genuine. She's not in this relationship because she's in love with Jeremiah. Yes, Belly had feelings for both Conrad and Jeremiah. It would be silly to argue that she didn't. But she was pushed in that direction by Susanna. Which is why when people think, why did she have to go for two brothers specifically? Why not just two different people? It's because Susanna wanted her to marry one of her sons. And because of the way that Belly felt about Susanna before she died and after she died, she just subconsciously needed to fulfill that, not for herself, but for Susanna. And that's why in season 3, Susanna is such a constant presence in Jeremiah and Belly's relationship, like an invisible glue that holds them together. Which is why Conrad coming back and igniting genuine feelings in Belly doesn't matter to her as much, because she can't get over the feeling that she has betrayed Conrad, Susanna, and Jeremiah. She's driven by a lack of identity, and that is why it is so crucial that she goes to Paris in the end. She's no longer in that beach house, surrounded by the influences and responsibilities put on her by Susanna. She no longer has to feel the guilt of her death and the responsibility to hold the family together that she tore apart right before Susanna died. The worst has already happened. Susanna is gone and the relationships have been destroyed. She has nothing left to lose other than herself. So she goes to find out who she is. And that is why at the end, when Conrad comes back to her and she confronted him about Susanna's feelings about the two of them together, it is crucial that Conrad reassures her and she accepts this.
How are we supposed to know if we love each other because we want to and not because we were told to? What if you only love me because that's what your mom wanted and then your mom died?
And that is why her ending is great for her, but the rest of the show is just a whole lot of suffering. And that is why I refuse to accept that Belly was the bad person in this situation. There was no bad person. There was just a lot of pressure, misunderstandings, and grief. Thank you so much for 250 subscribers. Everyone who is a new subscriber, hello, thank you. You probably subscribed at the back of the Family Guy videos, and I'm gonna continue making Family Guy videos because I love Family Guy, it's my favorite show. But this was just playing on my mind, and I was like, I need to make a fucking video about this because I see nothing but hate towards this character on TikTok, and I'm like, I need to lock in, I need to take the gloves off for a second. But thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. My new subscriber level is 260, so if I could reach 260 for my next video, I would really, really appreciate it. But only subscribe, of course, if you genuinely enjoy the video and are interested in more of my channel. There's no pressure at all, but I would just really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and for all my existing subscribers that don't stay for my long outros, I'm not leaving Family Guy in the past. there's just sometimes you just need to defend a character that doesn't exist, you know what I mean? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Bye! Hey guys, everyone that stays for my long outros, how are we doing? How are we feeling? I can't imagine there's quite a lot of people here right now, other than my dear boyfriend and the big man himself. That made it sound like I met God. Oh yeah, I can't imagine there's a big crossover between my subscribers that subscribe for Family Guy and the Summer I Turn Pretty audience. I do want to start branching out into other like TV shows and topics that I'm interested in, just because, you know, I love Family Guy and I don't want to get back into a corner where it's all I can talk about on this channel and then it's like I can't even enjoy the show anymore. But I do want to make a video on the evolution of Peter Griffin, Lois Griffin and Joe Swanson, so I got at least 3 more scripts written out. I just need to record them and edit them. But yeah, I want to branch out a little bit more just so that I can like still have as much fun with my Family Guy videos. Also, I'm curious what the crossover is, so if anybody is here, Christopher honey, not you bro, you can comment if you want honey, but I obviously know what you like. But I'm curious about the crossover of other shows. I got some really good recommendations in my video about Smiling Friends, about adult comedies that I should watch. Right now, my boyfriend is showing me The In-Betweeners, which, for anybody who doesn't know, it's like a classic like British comedy. But yeah, like what shows do you watch? Because I'm curious what the crossover is, because like things like The Walking Dead and more like audiences that it's mostly like guys that watch it, I think that would probably have a bigger crossover than shows that have mainly girls watching them. Like I can't imagine there's many Dance Mom fans here. If there is, hey! Part of me wants to make a video on The Walking Dead because I really want to dive into Michonne's character, because I hated her when she was first introduced, and then I just like fell in love with her so quickly after the whole holding the baby scene in the prison. But I can't talk about The Walking Dead after Glenn. Let's stop talking about him. But yeah, what shows do you like? Dead ass, please tell me. I'm curious what the crossover is, because if there's any sort of crossover between my audience and shows I watch, then I'd be able to make my videos more curated to my existing audience, because I would be Family Guy, but I just want to branch out just a little bit as well. Just more analysis. I'm not going to be fucking like analysing, you know, like tea, like online drama. There's enough channels out there doing it a lot better than I could. Also, thank you so much for 250 subscribers. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to go now because a wee cat snuck into my room that I've never seen before in my life. It snuck into my room through my window, and I am severely allergic to cats. So my voice is killing me and my head is killing me. I'm sick, like I always am. Haha. I was feeling grand, but then the wee cat snuck in and I felt like a movement in my bed, and my boyfriend went home and I was like, what the fuck is that? And it was just like this little tiny cat peered its wee head up, and I was like, you know what? You can stay, bro. But anyways, goodbye everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!